Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to the farm. Beautiful Sunday morning here. We got far too many dogs running around. This fellow's supposed to be penned up. We're not sure exactly how he got out last night. We're going to try and solve that problem today. Perhaps a little unconventionally, but we'll try to solve it nonetheless. So what I need to do is figure out a way for him to be outside of his pen, but not be able to just run around all over the world, specifically outside the yard, into the chicken pen, in with the lambs, you know, frighten a bunch of folks, kill the neighbor's chickens, all that kind of bad stuff, right? So I need to tie him up somewhere. The challenge is tying him up around the house. He's going to get wrapped up around the stairs. He's going to rub up on one of the vehicles. It's not going to go well. We're going to stick an anchor like this, piece of 2x4, piece of chain, and a carabiner up under a tire rim. And then, so that's going to allow it basically as an anchor, but should allow that leash to go all the way around and spin freely and not get tangled up. That's the big thing. We don't want anybody to get tangled up, end up with a short leash, end up choking. That'd be bad. Boy, look at that sunrise. Isn't that a beauty, hey? Woo-wee. That's what it's all about right there. Now, I do have a couple spares here. This one come off the dump trailer. And then that one there came off the stock trailer. Not the stock trailer we have now, the stock trailer we had before that got T-boned and rolled in the ditch. And you know, I didn't send it with the spare because the tire was pooched on it anyway. So I thought, well, one day I got a rim at least if I need to do something. So anyways, this is just a piece of 2x4, little piece of chain, sheet metal screw, carabiner. That piece of 2x4 has to be equal to or less than the rim spacing for obvious reasons. And that will allow it to spin freely in there and prevent any kind of entanglement. So there we are, rigged up, tire, chain, and the dog. And he's got quite a path. And like I say, I know he can drag that, so if he needs to move, he can move. There was a recent thing I seen on the internet about some folks that were using tires as exercise for their dogs, and not everybody thought that was humane. But that's not the point of this. Like I said, it's just the point of that is to discourage him from going after a thing. So we can put him now, we'll just see how that works for 30 minutes. And then we're going to move it into the sheep pen. So he can be with the sheep, but if he gets rambunctious, they can move and he can stay. And hopefully that prevents anybody from getting chewed on, because we did have that one lamb, Cupcake, that this fella wasn't a very good guard dog of. In fact, he chewed on it twice, chewed its ear completely off. So we do need to do something. We definitely need to do something. Anyways, on to the real business for the day. Just fetched up a bucket of grain here. We're going to move the sheep out of the back paddock behind the barn into the lambing pen. That's how I coordinate getting feed in there. If I open that gate, there's no way I could keep them in their pen there. It'd all just be out in the yard and it would be absolute chaos. But I can move them into the lambing pen here with a grain treat. That helps, you know, keep them somewhat trained, keeps them body conditioned, and keeps them out of the way while I go run around baling. All right, ladies, ready for a treat? Just like that. They can all go have a snack. I can close that gate. Everybody's out of the way. Everybody's triple happy teddy bears. All right, with the sheep all penned up, just coming in here into the shop. I'm going to plug the tractor in. I don't keep the tractor plugged in all the time just because, well, you know, I've been to one too many shop fires where stuff's been plugged into the block heater 24/7. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to use the tractor in a couple hours, so I'll plug it in, get everything kind of relatively warm. It'll fire up so much. Like, it's inside, so it fires up pretty good, but we do keep the shop about, well, under 5 degrees. So nothing freezes in here, but I'm not, you know, paying a bunch of carbon tax unnecessarily and hopefully not burning anything down. So plug it in here now, go for a cup of tea, second breakfast, and then we'll come out and we'll feed that bale. Now, of course, with tractors, like if you're using your tractor every day, that's maybe a little less practical to do that, but you could rig that up with a timer or anything like that, so it's plugged in all the time, but just timer kicks on if you know when you're going to feed or something like that. Every day might be a little bit better. Use a little less power And like I say, have a little less risk of burning your shop down. Looks like the wife's finished her sign here too. Just to save the date, Achievement Day in Beaver Lodge showing sales going to be May 25th and 26th. May 26th, 2025. I think that's what that is. Doesn't make sense. 26th, 25th? It's the 26th of 2025. Well, that's really interesting. Got the first part of morning chores done, went in for a cup of coffee, come back out. You can see where our tire is in the grass where we left it there. But no dog. And I have no idea where he went. I don't know. Maybe because the wife left, she went to drop one girl off at Auntie's place and bring a whole bunch of other girls back here to play. Maybe she put him away. I'm not sure. Let's go have a look. Wouldn't that be something if the dog just got away and was away slaughtering the neighbor's chickens? Boy, that would be an upset. Never mind. Found him. And nobody let him go. The clasp broke. Like the first day, within the first hour, that broke. And I'm sure he wasn't pulling on it very hard to do that. I had the wife pick these up at the dollar store because they're only $4.50. And I did ask her, I was like, why do you think they're $4.50 when at Canadian Tire or PetSmart they're like $30? Well, that's why. That's exactly why. Anyways, we're gonna take that carabiner and clip it back to here. What are you guys arguing about? Never mind. This is what I come out for, was eggshells. So the wife had been saving eggshells for a year. Quit it. She was going to put them in her raised garden beds for growing tomatoes to give them a bit more calcium so they wouldn't get that bottom rot. Well, as you know, by the time we collected a tub full, had enough to sprinkle in there, tomato season was done. Anyways, with the dog tied back up, waste not, want not, we're going to go put this in with the chicken feed and they can get their calcium back. All right, so we're on to feeding chickens here now. And yesterday we got some bread and some wraps and some bagels and whatnot with our loop load. But the other thing we also got was some milk and some eggnog. What are you ever going to do with that? So waste not, want not. Got to be ingenious. So we basically made bread pudding. Put a whole bunch of this bread and stuff in the bottom of a Rubbermaid tote. Pour 2 jugs of eggnog over top of it. Let it soak for a half an hour. Give it to the chickens. And they are living their best life right now. So nothing's going to waste. The jug of milk we got, that's going to the kitties. Although I'm sure they're going to judge us for that 1% nonsense. No wonder it goes back. Who would want to drink that anyway? We're a whole milk household around here. But we'll see that it doesn't go to waste. Anyhow, a couple hours have passed. Back to the tractor here. Just going to reach up, touch the block on the opposite side. Nice and warm there. So glycol's made the full circulation. The antifreeze made the full circulation, and things are warm. So we're gonna go ahead, fire it up, and it should fire up just like it would in July. Okay, where did I put that screwdriver? There we go. Boom! We're in business. Like we're getting some weather out here now. A bunch of snow's blown in. Beautiful. So I got the round bale out for the sheep here. I'm not too, as you can see how much is spread out. That's just for me cutting the net wrap off of it and the wind blowing. Mostly the wind blowing. So this is one of those mixed grass and alfalfa bales that the father-in-law brought over mid-fall or whatever, just to get the cows through, and there was a couple that were left over. But it was one of those bales that was baled when it was 38 or 39 degrees Celsius outside. So quite literally, the minute you cut the strings, it's like opening a sarcophagus. Like there's nothing moist in there whatsoever. It is just dry, very brittle and very dusty. So I'm going to turn the sheep loose in here. And I fully expect that by supper time tonight, there's just going to be a green swath. They're going to go for the center of that. Absolutely, they will. The wind's going to pick it up and then just spread all that out over there. So I think by the time I get back from the old business trip, they're not going to be able to wait till the weekend for bale number 2. I'm not going to feed a second bale right now just because out of spite, I'm sure those sheep will just go pee on it or tear it apart. It'll get all buried in snow. As you can see, it's snowing quite heavily here now. So I'm not going to put it out there for them to ruin it, but I may have to feed a little early when I get back. I gotta say, there was many things I was impressed about with this tractor when we bought it, as opposed to previous tractors we've had around here. And this has got to be the biggest one. Yeah, that's right. A windshield wiper, not only that works, but has a functioning blade on it and can actually clear the moisture off the windshield. It just makes it such a dream, such a gem to drive. The heater's a pretty nice touch too. All right, so I'm back in the shop here now, and I got the Ugga Dugga machine here. This was actually the very first power tool I ever purchased after I came to Canada. My uncle had one of these, the 1/2-inch Power Fist corded impact wrench. And I was like, well, you know, what defines you as a man? Well, it's not ratchet sets, it's not screwdrivers, it's not drills, it's definitely an impact wrench. So that's why I rushed out to buy one of those. But needless to say, last week when I went out to feed a bale, I noticed that some of these bolts around this rim were loose, like really loose. And I also said that I was going to put a reminder in my phone so that I didn't forget after I come back from a cup of coffee to do this. I didn't set that reminder, and I did forget. And thankfully I went out to feed this bale and the wheel didn't fall off. So got everything I need. I'm going to get her tightened up here. Now I know what some folks are thinking. This is not an impact socket. You're absolutely right. I just didn't have any black spray paint on me at the time, so you're going to get a shiny one. Wonder how long it's going to take until they fold that thing inside out. Boy, it sure got like Christmas out here in a hurry though. 40 minutes of snow, and I can hear Bing Crosby singing. I'd say without a doubt, old Mariah Carey's probably starting to wake up from hibernation here. It's getting close to the season. We're getting close to the end of December. And I'll have to get some Christmas lights put up. Christmas tree, I think, is going to come up next week out of the basement. We'll see how easy that's going to be, because we got that extra stand-up deep freeze down there now. It's kind of right in the way of where the under the stairs cupboard is. So that may present some challenges, because the wife, like I said, the wife yesterday, I mentioned, she had surgery on her one hand. So there's going to be no lift assist that's going to be happening. It's just going to be all whatever my back can do. And I'm going to enjoy that thoroughly. It'll probably take from whatever time the Christmas tree goes up until it's time to come down to probably heal up from that adventure. You know, I've always said I'll take my moisture any way it comes, but if Maury Povich were here right now, he'd say that was a lie. Well, I just got the eggs here. Quick count. We got 24. Looks like we're back at the Breakfast Club again. Pretty excited about that. Start selling eggs again. There's a lot of people asking. There's like one guy that gets 8 dozen eggs a week off of this routinely. And like, I don't know where you put them all, but none of my business. Anyways, yeah, we've had to have quite a few disappointed folks here over the past little while because they took a little holiday, but looks like the ladies are back. All right, I'm in the barn here now. One thing, sometimes I do things and then I think, man, that would have made good filming. But, you know, opportunities missed. Anyways, as you can see, barn floor looks nice and clean. Doesn't have any bedding on it. Doesn't have any poop on it. How do we accomplish that? About 4 years ago, I bought a Stihl leaf blower. And I use that for snow removal, actually. And it's not the greatest for snow removal, especially a day like today when it's real wet, heavy snow. It works good for the light, fluffy stuff if it's fresh. Anyways, I brought it in here because we use the barn mostly in the spring when it's kind of wet and mucky. And then who likes to shovel that stuff out? Well, it works fantastic, actually, if you just let it dry for about 10 months and then fire up the leaf blower and blow it right all out that back door there, Bob's your uncle. So that's why I just got that all cleaned up. We're, aside from having a big yellow tractor in the way here, I'm pretty much ready for lambing season already. Bring it on. Anyways, on that note, I think it is time to head for the house, fix up a cup of tea, maybe have a biscuit or two. So I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. We'll see you tomorrow.